Seekonk Speedway, the action track at ease. We got a big day today. A big day today. We got the midgets today.
In the West Auto, Becky D Racing #1 is Manny Myers. Lakeville, Mass is number 20 of Stanley Sherman starts 15th outside of him out of Berkeley, Mass. The M&M Landscaping CSA Auto. Ed Morin. Green flag flies. We are underway for our first event tonight. Bowser jumps out to a quick lead through 1 and 2. Belmont's trying to hold on, but Vernon's right there. Here comes Jessica Manchester trying to work her way through. Al King Jr. trying the high side, 3 wide. Luongo and Manchester making a little bit of contact as they battle for that 5th spot. Bowser all alone up front. Belmont sits 2nd. Vern 3rd. Strick is up the 4th, and it's 3 wide down the back straightaway for that 5th spot. Doug Hanson down low, a little bit sideways in the corner. Gets into the dirt, gathers it back up, loses a couple of positions, left hook Luongo into that 4th spot with Avila rounding out the top 5. Bowser still holding on to that front spot. Belmont doing everything he can, a little bit loose off the corner. Tripp tries to go underneath down the front stretch into turn 1. We've got a 2-car battle for that 2nd spot. Avila sideways through 3 and 4, through 1 and 2, as he loses a bunch of positions. Trying to get that car gathered back up, and as he's down to the back of the pack, Bowser out front, Tripp 2nd, Belmont, Luongo, and Al King Jr. top 5. Kevin Casper and Stanley Sherman working their way through, as is number 02, Ray Parent, as they round out the top 8 qualified cars. King trying to get under Luongo, a little bit of contact there, as King gets by underneath into that 4th spot. Tripp down low into turns 1 and 2 underneath Bowser down the back stretch. But we've got a new leader for the first time tonight. Bowser drops back into 2nd. 3rd is the 47 of Belmont, Al King Jr. And Kevin Casper battling for that 5th spot. Luongo trying to hold on to that onto the high side, but loses a bunch of positions. Cameron Crone, the 82 of Hanson, and the 32 of Harris getting by. This time by 1 to go. As Tripp still leads them down. This time by is Stroller Models. The judge Tripp the 4th is going to take the win 2nd. It's going to be Hugh Bowser. Belmont coming home 3rd. 4th through 8th is King, Casper, Parent, McCrone, and Doug Hanson. Those are the top 8 cars that qualify. And here's Ernie Boucher with the lineup. Starting on the pole out of Holbrook, Mass. in the number 85 is Barry Shaw. Outside of Barry in the number 9 from Tiverton, Rhode Island, Scotty Banville. In the third spot, out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, driving the 03, Scott Fitzgerald in the Ajax Used Auto Parts. Outside of Scott, in the fourth position, out of Seekonk, Mass, driving the 08, Richard Cavallaro. In the fifth position, out of Wareham, Mass, driving the number 72, is Mike Lopes. Outside of Mike, in the number 7, out of New Bedford, is Russ Horsford. Out of Warwick, Rhode Island, in the number 19, driving the Ampar Bozer and Sons. Junior looking the field over. We have a green flag this time around. Barry Shaw jumps out to the lead. Scotty Banville in there for second. Cavallaro third. Horsfeld look on the inside, going into 1, looking for that third spot. Scholar into 5th. Mike Scholar jumping up to that third spot. Shaw still leading, Banville second, Scholar and Cavallaro dicing for that third spot. We have Lopes in 4th. Tom Duffy in that 6th spot. Tom Fadato coming up through the pack, he's up to that 8th spot. Barry Shaw still leading with Banville second. Scholar looking on the inside, going into 1, takes a second thought of that one. Cavallaro a little loose coming out of 2. Scholar down low, Cavallaro on the outside. Fadato coming up through the field, up to that 5th spot. Lopes in 6, Duffy 7. Gavin is in that final spot, in the 8th spot. Barry Shaw checked out on the rest of the field. You got Scholar second now. Cavallaro is up to the 3rd, 3 wide, going through the turns. Fadato, Banville, and Cavallaro. Fadato's got the spot. Fadato looking on the backside of Scholar now, looking for that 2nd spot. Fadato on the inside of Scholar going into 3. Cavallaro in there for 4th. With Banville, Lopes, Gavin, and Duffy. Barry Shaw, he's checked out on the field. We got Tom Fadato in there for 2nd. With 1 to go. We got Scholar 3rd, Cavallaro 4th. And Lopes 5th. Duffy 6th, Banville 7th, Gavin 8th. Linda Hensher in that 9th spot, looking to take 1 more spot as she goes on the inside of Banville, going into 3. Not enough to do it this time. See if she gets him coming out of 4. Linda Hensher grabbed that 8th spot, that's final transfer spot. Sure, he just checked out on the field for the lead winning that race. Fadato was 2nd, Scholar was 3rd. Cavallaro. Well, two down, one more to go for the Formula 4s as they get ready to run their 3rd race of the afternoon. 8 cars to qualify for the Dash for Cash coming up at the end of the night. Starting on the pole out of New Bedford, Mass. In the Welby Law Office is Dartmouth Building Supply number 33 is Garth Rowe. Outside of Garth, out of Norton, Mass. And the number 60 is Bill Schultz. Starting 3rd on the field out of Edgartown, Mass. And the number 16 is Ted Bernard. Outside of Ted, out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And the number 73 is Mark Langlois. Starting on the inside of the 3rd row out of Somerset, Massachusetts, driving the Freetown Auto APAC Manufacturing Incorporated number 41 is Kathy. Successful. Looking for the green this time by Garth Rowe, jumps out to a quick lead. Schultz runs up high, a couple cars get by. Mark Langlois has moved up into the 2nd spot. Schultz grabs it back into 3rd. Bernard drops back to the 4th. Vangelis runs 5th on the field. See, ran on the 34, gathered up a couple spots. Ron Castro Jr. is at 0, going by a lot of cars, but we've got our first portion of the night as Denise De Silva and Ted Bernard get together off the 4th corner. Yeah, Ted just lost it going September 21st. Looking for a green flag this time back. Mark Cunha likes what he sees, and we are back underway. Garth jumps out to a quick lead. Looks like Kathy Oliveira's got some problems in that 41 going through the corner. Brian Castro again going 3 wide and passing a bunch of cars, trying to get himself into a qualified spot. Going into turn 3, the 71 of Lopes and the 47, the 41 of Kathy Oliveira both going around. No contact was made between either driver or any driver. Everybody able to get their cars off the surface, and we stay under green. Garth still up front, but Mark Langlois giving him heavy pressure for that front spot. Schultz still third. Vangelis and Athelmedo round out the top 5. James Martins has worked his way into the 6th spot. 7th is the 35 of Daniel Perry, running out the top 8 is the 34 of Steve Randall, but he's got the 49 of Dave Vieira and the 0 of Brian Castro all over him. Garth making good work of lap traffic as Langlois has to jump into behind in 2nd spot. This time by it's halfway, and Garth still leads him down. Should see him too. Castro's moved his way into a qualifying spot in that number 0. He's moved his way up into 8, and the 71 again goes around. Drops that car off the racing surface, gets it back again, and we stay under green. Langlois putting heavy pressure on the 33 for that front spot. This time buying on Pro has just 2 laps left to hold on and take down his first win in 1996. Langlois is looking to make his first visit to victory lane also. Vangelis sits in 3rd, 4th at the battle, the 35 of Daniel Perry. His 4th, 5th is the 0 Castro. Athelmedo drops back 2 spots. White flag is out. 1 more lap for Garth. Looks like he'll have enough to hold off Langlois down the back straightaway. Out of turn 4, Garth looking to take down his first win, and he holds off the hard challenges of Mark Langlois. 3rd, it looks like it's going to be Steve Vangelis. 4th is going to be the 35 of Dan Perry. Castro finishes 5th. 6th is the 13 of Martins. The 49 of Dave Vieira comes home 7th, and Athelmedo rounds off the top 8 qualifying cars for the dash.
Starting on the pole in the number 14, out of Westport, Mass, in the Westport Auto Recycling BU Marine and Construction car is Richard DePernick. Outside of Richard in the 22 is Paul Mealy. The 3rd spot, driving the number 10, we have Richard Light. In the 4th spot, the number 31 is Richard Clark Jr. In the 5th spot, driving the 116 out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island, Jim Sylvia. Next we have the number 30 of Bob Demers. Dave Petty in the number 57. Well, fans on parade. Green flag this time to Fannie Mealy, side by side, going down the front straightaway into 1. Side by side racing coming out of 2. Fannie got a slight advantage as they go down the backstretch as they go into 3. Close racing out of the top 6 cars.
Bobby Bentoncourt using the 3rd lane to work his way to the front. Everybody in front of him running side by side. He's trying the 3rd group to work his way to the front.
Fannie continuing to hold that slight advantage over Mealy as they come out of that 4 on the front straightaway. Light in there for 3rd, Sylvia and Clark round out the top 5. Clark trying a little high groove, a little loose as he's coming out of that corner. Lost some momentum. Now let's Dave Petty, Bob Demers dive on the inside, put them 3 abreast with 3 and 4. Not the place to be on the outside. Bentoncourt real loose coming out of down that front straightaway. That top group down to do his liking tonight. Richie Clark pulling all the way to the rear after getting a little loose and getting caught on the outside. Jeff Waterman, little bumper tag, gets a little sideways. The Fernie continuing to lead with Mealy on the outside. Wright, Sylvia, and Petty make up that top 5. Close racing. Halfway this time around. Waterman looking to close up the gap. The Fernie continuing to lead. Mealy on the outside. Excellent racing from these gentlemen out here. Sylvia trying the top side, see if he can make up some ground and catch up some headway here on the rest of the field. Sylvia now to that 3rd spot. The Fernie continuing to hold that lead over Mealy. Now Sylvia looking down on the bottom, maybe he can try the inside. Light still in there for 4th, Petty 5th. Waterman to Gasberry and Betancourt, making up the top 7 cars. Gasberry on the inside of Waterman. Betancourt looking for their way through also. The Fernie continuing to lead with 2 laps to go. A little sideways coming out. Let Mealy make up some ground. Jim Sylvia all over the back end of the 14. Hasn't touched him yet. Mealy a little wide coming out of 4. Lost a little ground. White flag this time. 3 wide going into 1 between the 71, 10 and 57. Will they make it all by? Richard White, sandwich in the middle. DeFerny takes down that win. Over Mealy, Sylvia, to Gasberry, Petty, Silva. Coming out on the track now is your second street stock heat.
You know, we're always trying to get to know our fans a little bit better. If you get a chance tonight, stop by the program booth and pick up tonight's lucky program. But while you're down there, check out what they have for sale. They have t-shirts, hats, bumper stickers, all for your liking. But something new, which I want to tell you about, just came out with it last week, is a survey. We want to know about all our fans here at Seekonk Speedway, your age, how old you are.
And the 33 out of East Taunton is Sean Sylvia. Gene Weston in the 00. Robert Donovan in the 46. Bringing up the rear in the 26 is Peter Fernandez, the 4th. Jerry Smith gets turned around on the first lap. Westgate, Bill Horst. We have cars turned every which way but loose on the backstretch. All seem to be able to drive away, but green flag this time around. Joe Cadero jumps in the lead, Sherman on the outside. Viveris on the inside, Milton into that 4th spot, looking to take over that 3rd spot. Arsenal 3 wide, looking to take the outside way. Ron Luro and Sean Sylvia making tight battle. Arsenal 3 wide, going down the backstretch, looking to take over that 3rd spot. Cadero continuing to lead. Viveris 2nd, Arsenal, he wants to get to the front on the outside, the way to go. Nancy Sherman must have a problem, she's falling back. Sparky Arsenal still on the outside. He's got outside groove, and then 96, he's got it working up there. Nancy Sherman has a vibration in her right front wheel, or she has a left front tire going flat. Cadero Arsenal now takes over the lead over Cadero with Viveris, Stacy Moulton, Sean Sylvia. Bobby Rotondo and Westgate make up that top 7. And Andy's into that 8th spot, that number 26 car. Rotondo starting in that back row, he's up to a qualifying spot. Arsenal continuing to lead. Cadero having a problem as he falls back on the outside. You got Arsenal, Viveris, Stacy Moulton, Sean Sylvia, Dave Westgate, Peter Fernandez, Gene Weston, and Robbie Rotondo. Jerry Smith smoking up a storm in that number 11 car. Here comes Arsenal with 2 to go. Moulton 2nd. Viveris, Sean Sylvia, Westgate, Gene Weston, and Fernandez on the outside. One to go. Arsenal continuing to lead. A tight battle for that 7 between the 00, 26 and 46. Checkered flag with Arsenal, Moulton, Sylvia, Viveris, Westgate, Weston, and I believe the only Qualified 6th, and Andy's, I believe, finished 7th, so he did not grab that last spot. Third heat, now entering the track. Kevin?
Thank you. Starting on the pole out of Block Island, Rhode Island, driving the Captain Nick's Rock and Roll Bar McGovern Jello Kittens. Block Island Recycling, number 13 is Rob Murphy. Outside of Rob, out of New Bedford, Mass, and the number 8 is David Brightman. Starting third on the field, the Lenny's Lounge, Auto Service Unlimited 5-Star Pizzas, number 05 is Eddie Plant. Outside of Eddie, the number 62 is Russ. Brightman going to bring him down, likes what he sees, green flag is out, and we are underway. Brightman jumps out to a quick lead for 72 of Clements. All sorts of sideways going into the corner. Speedy Wainwright also a little bit loose off the second corner. Brightman out front. Tatro now sits in second. Murphy drops back to third. And he's got heavy pressure behind him for 38 tomorrow. Working his way the high side. Eddie Plant trying down low. Both cars making contact. Murphy gathering it back up. Plant right behind him. But not before Sutcliffe, Clements, and Wainwright all get by. Clements and Murphy make contact, and Murphy goes around, gets into the 89, and gets into the 72, and everybody trying to hold on. Wainwright all the way down the front straightaway, slideways, and Rob Murphy sits off the fourth corner, and that's going to bring us under a caution. As of right now, green flag is out, we're back underway, and Brightman again jumps up to a quick lead. Tatro trying to hold on to the high side. Morrow gets underneath through turns 1 and 2. Tatro trying to make a run on the outside of Brightman. Brightman a little bit high off the corner. Morrow looking underneath, nothing there. As Tatro drops back to the outside of Morrow as they battle still for that second spot. Eddie Plant trying to hold on to the inside as he battles with Jess Sutcliffe for that fourth spot. Speedy Wainwright now sits 6 on the field, but here comes Lenny McQuaid, that number 45, as he tries to work his way to a qualifying spot for the event. Tatro getting a good run on the outside, looks to the outside of Brightman, a little loose off the second corner, falters right back to the outside of Morrow, and this time by, we've got the cross flags. Brightman trying to hold on, gets a little high in the second corner. The 38 of Morrow trying to get underneath, but nothing there as he falls back into third. Sutcliffe all over the back of him as he's got Eddie Plant, Pete Roeder in the 45 of Lenny McQuaid right there, and also the 89 of Speedy Wainwright. Again, Morrow making a bit underneath Brightman, but Brightman shuts the door off the second corner. Tatro trying to hold on to the outside. Morrow again looking down low, looks like he's got some room. Tatro and Morrow making a bit of a contact down the front stretch. Everybody's able to pull away, both in their own positions, but Brightman making sure nobody can get by. Rusty Bryant working his way through traffic, now sits in 6th as Eddie Plant gets a little sideways off the corner. Out front to the car now, Morrow is now underneath Brightman. Brightman goes high off the second corner. Morrow gets underneath a little bit of contact on the back straightaway as they bang into each other, but Morrow jumps out to the front spot. Brightman back to second, Sutcliffe trying to make a look through, nothing there. Sutcliffe sitting third on the field, Tatro back to fourth, McQuaid and Bryant in top 6, the 78 is Savory. Loose off the corner, drops to the back of the pack. This time by, the checkered flag is waving. Keith Morrow's going to take down the win. Second, it's going to be anybody. Morrow takes down the win. Brightman, Tatro, Sutcliffe, the 45, McQuaid and Rusty Bryant rounds out the top 8 qualifying car.
To the bottom down the straightaways, and that's why he was having contact with anybody that was on the inside of him.
Coming on now is the TD4 truck race. And we've got a new truck on hand. They'll be starting scratch on the field. This is the way they're scheduled to go.
Starting on the pole. Driving the Fox Toyota, Vienna Auto Parts, Stevens Service Center, number 63, Mike Butts. Outside of Mike, driving the Flint Farms, Rolling Stone Trucking, Bug Stevens Freetown Auto, number 13, Billy Flint. Automobile. Ray Soulier. Outside the ring of 3 is Jeff Carter. And bringing up the rear, our new truck, Tom Kuiper, the number 2. Billy Flint jumps out to the lead over Mike Butts, Richie Morse. come baying in for fourth, slowing on the outside. Miranda and Clark. Dave Dowling with Joe Putnam. Ryan James. Slowing in there for that fourth spot. Richie Morse looking on the inside of Butts. Billy Flynn out to a commanding lead over Richie Morse. Mike Butts coming back to that third spot. Robin Sloan closing up the gap, looking to take over that third. Billy Clark on her rear bumper. Sloan underneath Butts down the backstretch. Flint, Robin Sloan dives into that second spot. She's on home tonight.
The six, Miranda, the zero, front again, gentlemen, the third, fourth corner, both trucks going.
We have a yellow. Robin Sloan looks to get the handling squared away and got some horsepower under her tonight. She's hooked up so far. Going into 3 and 4, we should see a green this time by. We have a green. Robin Sloan side by side with Billy Flint, but no, Billy takes the advantage. Looks like Robin's possibly missed a shift on that restart. Richie Morse. Sloan on the outside, looking to take back that second spot. 3 wide down the backstretch, Dowling, Butts, and Clark. Billy Flint got a problem with that number 13 truck. He's way off the pace. That puts Billy Clark into the lead. Flint must have fallen out of gear or something because he's back running. Billy Clark over Richie Morse, Kenny Castle, Robin Sloan, Dave Dowling. Ray Soulier and Mike Butts. Billy Flint looking to make it back up in that front pack. 2 to go. Clark now leading. Ryan Dane off the track, throwing up a lot of dust and debris. Let's hope it does not affect the trucks as they go through the corners. Clocking, 1 to go with Clark leading. Kenny Casper second, Dowling now third, Robin Sloan fourth. Ray Soulier in that fifth spot. Flint looking the inside of Soulier down the backstretch. Billy Clark in for the win with Casper, Dowling, Sloan, Ray Soulier. Richie Morse, loser, coming down for that check. Everybody just misses him.
All the fans in attendance, who your favorite driver and car is. And of course, the next week, Mopar presents the Joey Chitwood Chevy Thunder Show. That's on Saturday night, August the 10th. Tickets are $15 for adults. Children 12 and under are just $5 each. You can pick up tickets in advance for that show by calling the main ticket office at 508-336-9959. And the following week, Park Plus presents the Brian Caruso Midget Memorial. You can take a look at what we have up top in the fourth corner for midget of Leroy Hudson. Al Rodriguez looking him over, green flag is out, and they are underway. Petty on the high side takes over the lead down the back straightaway. Bamford drops into that second spot side by side for position number 3, the 24 Blackmar, and the 22 of Serenditsky. Serenditsky got the highlight as he goes around him. Now sets his place on the outside of Bamford for that second spot. Glenn Young trying to work his way up into the 4th spot. Takes a look underneath Blackmar. Down the backstretch, Blackmar shuts the doors. And Young sideways off the corner. Serenditsky still holding the high line. Bamford trying to hold him off down low. As Dean Petty's over number 6, Caroline Cleave, going into the first corner. Young again making a bid for that 4th spot down low underneath Blackmar. He's got the spot going into turn number 3, and that's going to relegate Blackmar back to 5th. And Glenn Long tries to make a look underneath Nelson there. He falls back into that 6th spot. Once again makes a bid off the second corner. He's got the room this time, as he still battles for that 5th spot. Glenn Young taking a look underneath Bamford. Nothing there. Bamford shuts the door. Serenditsky runs the high line. And Young and Serenditsky battling for that 3rd spot. One getting underneath Blackmar as Blackmar falls back to 6th spot. Scully Manchester right behind him as everybody's playing a bit of mummy time. And oh, Green and LaBelle both getting together up the fourth corner down the front stretch. Everybody being able to keep going. Estrella trying to work that high line into a qualified spot. Now sits in eighth. Blackmire extremely loose off the corners. As he's got to push also 3 wide as Scully and Estrella get underneath. Manchester also getting underneath the 24 Blackmire. A little bit of contact. Both cars getting sideways, but able to gather it back up. The 24 Blackmire just all over the place. Slideways, going in, slideways, coming out. As he tries to hold on to position. Petty still way down front section, 99 Young. Cernitzky sits third on the field. Fourth is the 15 of Bamford. Rounding out the top 5 is the 71. Scully, Estrella, and Blackmire are the top 8 cars, but Blackmire having a hard time holding on to that number 24. White flag is out this time by Petty, still out front. 99 of Young still holding on to that second spot. Blackmire still all over the place. The 95 trying to get by. He takes a look to the high side down the back straightaway. Tries to get a run going. Blackmire through 3 and 4 at the 2-car battle. Out of turn number 4, Riggy takes a look underneath the left there as Blackmire is able to hold on to that 8th.
So I don't know what he was just saying. If it's permanent, I don't know.
Rolling out of the tunnel now is the second of 2 sportsman heat events. This is the way they're slated to go on the pole. Driving the F&M Racing Bay State Towing number 10 is Chris Magee. Outside of Chris in the Majonas Restaurant, American Auto Auction, Eddie Savage, number 14, is Linwood Cohen. Starting third on the field in the PF Transport Bay State Sewage Disposal number 2 is Dave Titus. Outside of Robert Wright, Chris Magee and Linwood Cohen bringing them down. Green flag is out and they are underway. Magee jumps out front, Cohen trying to hold on, but Titus gets underneath him to that second spot. The 63 of Spencer drops in for 4th, right behind him with 0 of Robert Wright. Murray looking to make it 3 wide for that 7th spot as he works the high spot of Goodrow and the 6 of Colvin. So drops in behind. Single file for your front 4 cars. Magee, Titus, Cowan, and the 63 of Spencer. Now make that the top 5 as Robert Wright sits in 5th. Titus looking underneath Magee off the second corner, a little bit of contact. Tries to get underneath, but Magee shuts the door. And Titus pulls in a second. Cowan still sits third on the field, now making a bid to the high line, but thinks second about it. Single file throughout the field, with the exception of Kenny Colvin in the number 6 as he tries to work the high line and work his way into a qualified spot. Now sits in 8th on the outside of Goodrow. Here comes LeClaire on the inside of Gannon. As Gannon also takes a look to the high side, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Colvin on the outside. Gannon and LeClaire. Colvin sideways off the corner. And Murray gets underneath both of those cars. At the battle for the 9th spot, Murray and Gannon. LeClaire is 8th on the field. He's the last qualified car as they sit on the field. Murray trying to work his way up, as is Ed Gannon, Angela Davila, Kenny Colvin, and Tracy Harrigan. Magee still out front. He's got Dave Titus all over him, looking high low, otherwise trying to get by. Cowan sits 3rd on the field. Spencer 4th, Magee 5th, but here comes the 42 of LeClaire as he tries to work his way to the front. LeClaire sits in 5th on the field, trying to make it into 4th is Wright. Looks underneath the 63 is Spencer. Again off the fourth corner, nothing there. The player's got that 42 handling beautifully on the outside. Murray also working the high line as he's worked his way into a qualifying spot. Checkered flag falls this time by. It's going to be with Gian Titus, Cowan, Fair, Kenny Spencer, Roger Wright, and out of Warwick, Rhode Island, making his second start of 1996. Driving the King Richard Subaru, Copperfield Lounge, Stafco Race Chassis, number 99, is Wayne Dion. Starting third on the field. 0-1 is Rick Anatole. Kenny Morissette and George Regal round out the field. Green flag is out, and we are underway. Gamache and Dion side by side for the first lap down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Gamache trying to hold on, a little bit of a push off the corner. And Dion holding on to the tail right on the outside. Into turn 1, they're still side by side, but Dion got a bit of an advantage into turn number 3. Gamache back to second, third is Lieutenant Bowler. McClure sits fourth. Fifth is another between Bellin and Houlihan. McClure making a bit to the outside of Bowler for that fourth spot. That allows the one of Houlihan to enter underneath the double zero of Blanco. A little bit of a problem as he falls back to the back of the pack. Rick Martin, George Regal, Lenny Ellis, and everybody else trying to get out of their way. Dion with a 6-penalty lead in the turn 1. Going out second. Third is the 10 of Bowler. Fourth. It's a side-by-side battle. And Lenny Ellis goes around on the second corner, and that's going to bring us into fourth. We hope to see you there. Looking for green this time by. Wayne Dion gets a jump. That allows Bowler to get underneath Gamache. But Gamache trying to hold on to the outside. Hooley gets underneath McClure. Out of turn 2, Gamache gets sideways, jumps in behind the 10. It's a third spot. McClure trying to work that high groove. Dion is still out front. The 10 of Bowler all over him as he looks to work his way to the first spot. McClure working that high groove. Working the outside of Dick Houlihan, now setting his sights on the 27 of Gamache. This time by halfway, 8 laps complete, 7 to go. Houlihan making a bid for that third spot underneath Gamache. Down the front straightaway, nothing there. As McClure tries to get something going, Freddie Estelle and Chad Chase looking for a hole. As they try to work their way up front, Rick Martin rounds out the qualified 8 right now on the field. The one of Houlihan letting Gamache know he's there, giving him a couple of taps off the corners. Gamache, that guy with an extreme push off the corners as he tries to hold on to his third place. Houlihan making another bit up the fourth corner, gathers it back up behind, nothing there as McClure tries to get some more momentum going on the outside. It's Dion, Bowler, Gamache, but here comes McClure on the high groove with just a couple of laps remaining. Houlihan runs fifth on the field, 6 to 8, so like Freddie Estelle, Chad Jason, right up for Rick Martin this time by. There's 2 to go for the rest of the field. Bowler looks underneath Dion off of turn number 4. Nothing there, he drops it back into second. Gamache still trying to hold on to that third spot, but he's got an angry Dick Houlihan and Alan McClure right there trying to get by, and they've only got 1 lap left to do it. Bowler taking another bit to the inside of Dion on the first, there's nothing there. Falls back into second spot, checking flag waves. This time it's going to be for all the marbles, and it's going to be Wayne Dion coming up to win second. It's going to be Bowler third. Fourth will be McClure, fifth will be outside of Vinny out of Uxbridge, Mass. In the Channing Limited Pool Pro Swimming Pools Nats Racing Engine number 23 is Steve Channing. Defending champ Bobby Tripp starts 9th. He drives the Manchester Racing Engines, New England Sanitation, ABC floor covering. Number 88 outside of Bobby in the Hutchinson Sun Enterprises. Watching the front 2. They hit the line, they hit the gas, green flag is out, and they are underway. Holden jumping out to a quick lead. Tony Dyer sits second. Ray Lee jumps into third. Alexander back to fourth. It's Joey Cirillo runs in the fifth spot at the completion of one lap. Steve Chaney making it 3 wide, threading the needle down the back straightaway underneath the zero and around Hutchins in the 96. Holden's still showing the way. He's got a 2-car length lead on Dias. He's got a 3-car length lead over Ray Lee. And look at Bobby Tripp wreck the high line. Tripp quickly moving up to it from his 9th place start, sits in 4th place at the completion of just 4 laps. And sits his sights on the top 3 last week's 100 lap feature winner. And a great run Sunday up at Oxford. As this team has a lot of momentum carrying. Channing now makes a look to the outside himself as he looks around the 46 of Vinny Anarumo. For that 8th spot, Randy Berg goes around down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 and comes back out onto the track. This time by it's halfway for Norm Holden as he continues to lead Dias, Ray Lee, and Bobby Tripp in the top 4. Tripp working the high side of the 33 of Ray Lee for that 3rd spot. He's got the momentum on the outside, as does Steve Channing as he works around Joey Cirillo and now Ray Alexander. His way up into 5th spot. Vinny Anarumo now sits on the ball. He's the 8th car in line. 8 cars to qualify for the big event. Mike Cavallero sits 9th, feeling his way out to the first race in that number 4. 2 to go this time by Bobby Tripp. Moves his way up into 2nd as he gets around the 22 of Vinny Dias sideways off the 2nd corner, trying to keep up on Bobby Tripp. It's just got way too much. Steve Seekonk suddenly all over the speedway. This time by it's the checkered flag. Norm Holden takes down the win. 2nd is the 88 of Bobby Tripp. Tony Dias sits 3rd. 4th is Ray Lee. 5th through 8th is Steve Channing, Ray Alexander, Joey Cirillo, and Vinny Anarumo. Those are your last chance qualifying races, also known as the consolation round. This is the way they're slated to go on the pole out of Fall River, Mass. Driving the Williston's Auto Electric, JT's Auto Parts, Junior's Auto Supply, number 21 is Bob Betancourt Jr. Outside of Bob, the number 41 is P. Rose. In the 11, Ernest Guglielmo in the 83, and Dana Savory round out the field. Green flag is out, and we are underway. Bob Betancourt and Pete Road are battling for that front spot, side by side down the front stretch of the completion of one lap. Neither one getting it in. 4 cars to make it into the main event, and there are several cars that want to look into the feature right now. It looks like Bobby Betancourt, Pete Loader, Robert Thunder, and Rob Collery in top 4, but number 59 Joe Ferro as he tries to work his way into a qualifying spot. two-car battle for that front spot. The 21 of Betancourt, the 41 of Rhoda still battling side by side, neither one giving an inch. Rotundo sits third on the field. Fourth is Rob Kohler in that number 4. Ferro jumps back to 5th. This time by, it's halfway, 5 laps complete, 5 laps to go. And it's still a two-car battle for that front spot. Betancourt Road is still running side by side. Rotundo sits third, Kohler fourth, the 59 of Ferro trying to get some momentum going in that 59. You can see him sideways off the corner as he tries to get into a qualifying spot, but now sits fifth on the field. That would make him the first alternate into the future event. Betancourt and Road is still battling hard but clean for the front spot. Next time by, they got 2 laps to go, and it looks like lap cars may come into play as Jerry Smith is at the back of the field. Smith moves high, lets the 2 leaders go by. And Betancourt's got a little bit of an advantage on that front spot. This time by for the white flag as Clark goes around on the back straightaway. Roder's got the bit of an edge over the line, and that's where it's going to count. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Roder jumps out to the lead. Betancourt drops back into second. Rotundo third. Kohler and the 59er Joe Ferro rounds out the top 5. And that's the way they're going to sit with Richard Clark sitting in the infield. Billy Ross, Gary Wainwright, Dana Savory, Jerry Smith, and Richard Clark.
Rock and roll bar. McGovern's Yellow Kittens, Black Island Recycling. Number 13 out of Block Island, Rhode Island is Rob Murphy. Starting in the stretch. Al Rodriguez waves the green. Peter Fernandez jumps out to the lead. Radcliffe taking a dive down for a spot that wasn't there. Gets a little squirrely. Eddie Plant now in that second spot. Radcliffe to third. Clemens on the inside. 3 abreast going into 3. Ron Luro comes out ahead out of the three-way battle. Radcliffe's 4th, Clemens 5th. Richard Blight in that 6th spot, Demers 7th, Nancy Sherman 8th. Joe Cordero having a problem in that 43. Fernandez out for the lead, Plant 2nd. Luro in there for a 3rd spot. Tight 4th place battle between Clemens and Radcliffe. Richard Blight looking for a hold. Nancy Sherman's battling some smoke. Could be tire smoke up that right rear tire. And like a traction. Fernandez continuing to lead. Eddie Plant 2nd. Luro 3rd. Clemens now in that 4th spot. Radcliffe back to 5th. Richard Blight trying the outside. Fernandez continuing to lead, halfway mark. Plant in that 2nd. Luro still 3rd. Clemens in that 4th spot. Richard Blight still hanging on the outside, looking for that highway around. Eddie Plant on 0-5, fighting a loose back end of that car. He comes out of them corners, just hangs it out. Monluo doing a good job of not getting into him. Fernandez continuing to lead. Plant 2nd as he come out of 4, Luro 3rd. Clemens in that 4th spot. Richard Blight taking it to the pits. Clemens looking on the inside of Luro. Demers. Got to fight for that 4th spot between Demers, Clemens, and Luro. Demers a little bumper tag with Clemens as they go through the corners. 2 to go this time around. Fernandez got a comfortable lead over Eddie Plant. Eddie Plant not having anybody on track coming. Clemens in there for 3rd. Demers 4th. Luro 5th. Little bumper tag between Luro and Demers. White flag. Grant and Clemens at 4th spot. Anyone's battle. Royal all over the back bumper to Mears, right flip likewise. Checker flag this time around for Peter Fernandez. Convincing win. Eddie Flynn into second, Clemens third, Mears fourth, Laurel fifth. Comes here every Saturday nights over there, Freddie Estelle. Rusty Rustin's up in Florida. He was our handicapper and a race driver back in the 50s here. Many, many time winner. We're over there, strike up some men. Rodriguez looking to throw the green. Billy Manchester jumps out to the lead. Ribby on the inside, Goodrow on the outside. Green again in type 5 car battle. Manchester holding on to that lead over Kenny Colvin, Tracy Harrigan. Get together coming down the front straightaway. We got a yellow. Colvin lost the handles. Tracy was just an innocent bystander, nowhere to go, and Colvin came down into the young lady. Tracy a late come. Side by side between Goodrow and Reed. Getting in there for that fifth spot. LaBelle D'Amelia, Leroy Hudson. Tracy Harrigan pulled out of the fifth up in the green flag. Was strong. D'Amelia sideways on the front straightaway. Hanging on to that car. Manchester continuing to that lead over Ribby. Goodrow now in that third spot. Gaining fourth. Ron Reed was stuck on the outside. He's up to the back, drops back to fifth. And LaBelle was on the inside. Tracy Harrigan giving the black flag for dangling fiberglass. Willie Manchester over Steve Ribby. Jeff Goodrow in the third. Reed now back to fourth. Over Ed Gannon there's Scotty LaBelle. Scott. Steve Ribby all over the back bumper of Manchester. Looking to try the inside, but that second thought to that. Halfway this time around. Goodrow hanging in there for third. Reed sitting back in that fourth spot, looking for a place to go. LaBelle not up to fifth. Gannon falling back to that sixth spot. Angelo D'Amelia in seventh. Leroy Hudson in that last qualifying spot for eighth. Manchester, Ribby, Goodrow, and Reed bumper to bumper coming out the front straightaway. Tight 4-car battle.
She'll be like that all night. And then Roach.
Manchester puts the still with that lead over Ribby. Goodrow in the third, Reed fourth. LaBelle closing it up, making it a 5-car battle, bumper to bumper. 2 to go this time around.
At that time, what's his name should be up here? Are we still in? Okay? And he would know that.
Willie Manchester over Ribby, Goodrow. Ron Reed, Scotty LaBelle, and that still in that fifth spot.
Okay. But find out first, you know, she'll be in one.
White flag flying over from Manchester. Angelo D'Amelia in that number 5. He's got a handful out there. Reed on the inside of Goodrow down the backstretch. Taking over that third spot. Manchester in for the win over Ribby. Reed on that last lap pass of Goodrow in there for third. Goodrow fourth. Scotty LaBelle fifth. Ralpho Electric, Mid-City Steel 96. The rookie, David Hutchins. In the seventh spot. Driver. Then we have in the 10th spot the 04 Steve Stanford, 98 Kenny Maliset, and 02 Matt Dewey. Rich Capaco jumps out to the lead, side by side between Hanato and Cavallero. Randy Burr and Fallon make a little contact coming out of 2. Capaco, Hanato looking at the inside of the 00. Lenny Ellis in there for third. Bobby Cullen sideways on the backstretch. Yellow flag.
Mike will be down there, I'll be down there for everything else.
All right. So they can take up time.
Capaco jumps out to the lead. Hanato on the outside. Anybody likes the outside, it's Hanato. And Manhattan made his name running the outside in the sportsman division. Lenny Ellis looking for that first spot on the outside of Mike Cavallaro. Steve Sanford got a problem up in the loose stuff. We got Rich Capaco still continuing to lead over Hanato, Lenny Ellis, Mike Cavallaro, George Vigo up to that fifth spot. Dave Sylvia 6, Hutchins 7, Dewey 8, Pellin and Guerin looking for that last qualifying spot. Lenny Ellis on the outside of Capaco coming out of 4, running good on that outside. Capaco bringing it up a little high. Hanato looking at the inside, makes twice while making it 3 wide. Capaco and Ellis side by side. He's opening in that door for Hanato. He keeps bringing Ellis up. Ellis got a slight advantage over Capaco on that front straightaway. Ellis running good tonight in that consolation race. Capaco on him coming back.
Three-car race out turn number 4. Matt Dewey, Dave Sylvia, and Bobby Pellin all getting together and all tangled up on the wall. Bobby Pellin able to pull away from under his own power, but tough break to the 0 of Dave Sylvia and the 0-2 of Matt Dewey.
Matt Dewey looked like he went in kind of hard. I don't know what caused it.
Well, folks, if we can ask for you to please remain in your seats, we want to
lead of Capaco. Hanato on the inside of Capaco. George Rigo, Mike Cavallaro on the number 4 car. You got Randy Beer on the inside of Hutchins. Dave Sylvia. Bobby Pellin bringing up the rear. Take 1 or 2 laps to make sure the car's drivable, then he can probably get back into the competition. Lenny Ellis pulling out over Hanato now in second over Capaco. Mike Cavallaro in there in that 4th spot. Rigo 5th. Randy Beer 6th. That final qualifying spot between the 96 and the 0, as they have both qualified in that 8th spot. Lenny Ellis opening up a commanding lead over Rick Hanato. Capaco now 3rd. Cavallaro 4th. Rigo, Beer, Hutchins. It's a race between the 0 and the 12 for that last spot. Pellin making up some good ground. He's going to pass the 0 this time around, I believe. 2 to go. Checkered flag this time around for Lenny Ellis. Lenny Ellis over Hanato, Cavallaro, Rigo, Capaco back to that 5th spot. Burr, Hutchins.
Ray Suliak. Starting 9th on the field, the newcomer tonight, the number 2 is Tom Kiefer outside of Tom. Driving the Arden Engineering Pepsi Diesel, the trucking number 6 is Arthur Miranda. Starting 11th, driving the Petros Lawn Maintenance, A&A Thrifty Sign R&R Machine, number 0 is Joe Putnam outside of Joe, the one and only champion of the TD4 truck division here at Seekonk Speedway. Looking for a green this time by Al Rodriguez. Blinking what he sees, waves the green flag. The trucks are underway and we are green and going. Connor input side by side down the front straightaway, but here comes a 52 of Darling and the 24 of Suliak. Billy Flynn makes a 4 wide down the back straightaway. Flynn jumps out to the quick lead. Darling takes it right through the corner and blocks the 24 of Suliak. Suliak gathers it back up and keeps on trucking. Flynn way out front, the 3 of Connor sits second on the field. 3rd is the number 1 of Billy Clark. Darling on the outside sits 4th. Kenny Caspi and Trump Woods is down the top flag. back to 6th, clutching 7th, and here comes Julian, trucking on the outside. Darling working that highway, now looks around him. The 1 of Clark and the 3 of Carter has the 3 both back 2 positions, down the back stretch, back to 4th. Flynn is way out front. It's going to take a Russian for a lot of momentum to catch that number 13 truck. Clark still sits in 2nd. Here comes Darling making a bit on the heel, down low. Got it. Clark shuts the door on Darling and he falls back to 3rd. 3 wide for that 4th spot. Here comes the 28 Gasper and the 24 Julia around the 3 of Carter. It's Carter blows a lot of smoke going into the first corner. And it looks like he's going to be done for the night. That's going to bring out the caution everybody in the back of the pack was looking for. Videos of each and every week's action here at Seekonk Speedway. Looking for a green this time by Conrad likes what he sees. Waves a green flag and we are back underway. Darling jumps on the start down low and takes over the lead coming out of the 2nd corner. Billy Clark falls back to 2nd. Here comes the 13 of Flynn, 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Robin Sloan makes a bid underneath the 24 Sully and the 28 of Casper into that 3rd spot. Sully getting his momentum back as he runs the high side of the 4 into that 3rd spot. Billy Flynn all over the back of the 52. Wow, Darling, as he wants to work his way back into the front spot, doesn't like how he lost it. This time by it's halfway, 7 laps down, 8 to go. As Darling still leads him down 2nd with the 13 of Flint. Julia, Sloan, and Jasper in top 5 trucks. Oh, the 2 leaders get together through 3 and 4. Billy Flint and the 52 of Darling. Both got trucks able to continue, but that gives Ray Julia makes him your new leader. Robin Sloan sits 2nd. That's your 2nd, 3rd, and 1st place in points, your top 3. Archie Sherman slideways off the 4th corner. This time by it's 5 to go. Still out front, looking to take another wing of that number 24 pickup truck. Robin Sloan looking for her first win of that number 4 to sit 2nd on the field. Dave Dolly making up some more ground. He's working his way back up into 5th. He's got that number 52 trucking on as he works the inside of Mike Butts. Down the back straightaway, he takes over the 4th spot from Butts. Darling now sits in 4th. Here comes Billy Clark right behind him. But with just 2 to go, does he have enough to take down the win? White flag is out this time by Sulia, way out front, Sloan 2nd. Darling and Casper battling for that 3rd spot. Side by side down the back straightaway. Darling gets the edge and jumps into 3rd. But coming down for the win, it's going to be all Ray Sully as he takes down his umpteenth win of the season. Sloan finishes 2nd, 3rd is Darling, 4th is the 28. Shady Tree Auto Sales and a call out of Providence Live R&B every Friday night. So ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. Former sportsman champion Ray Sully. Taking out 2nd place was the number 4 of Robin Sloan. Dave Darling was able to come back and finish 3rd. The 28 of Kenny Casper, your points leader, back to 4th. Running out the top 5 was the 63 of Mike Butts. Billy Clark, Joe Putnam, Tom Keeper, a fine run, finishing 8th. 9th was Turk Gunbay, and rounding out the top 10 was the number 17 of Archie Sherman. Of course, that is unofficial. But coming down once again to finish his victory lap one more time, give him a big round of applause for Ray Sully. Insurance number 33 is Sean Sylvia. Pawtucket, Rhode Island's Jerry D. Gaspari Jr. starts 15th. He drives the Elmwood Auto Service, Cisco's Performance Parts, Custom Auto Body, M&S Race Cars, number 71. Outside of him in the 00 is Gene Weston. Eddie Clanton, the Lenny's Lounge, number 05, Robert Tondo, Al Clements, Robbie Cole, and Ron Laurel round out the field. Down the back straightaway for the first time, Richard Turpinning jumps out front, trying to hold off the charges of the number 8 of David Brightman. And Keith Morrow right there in third. As Harris drops back to fifth. Russ Baseball going to take it 3 wide. But here comes Keith Morrow down low. He gets by Brightman, now sets in sights on Turpinning, nothing there. He drops back in the second again. Down low, and Keith Morrow takes the lead coming out of turn number 4 to complete lap number 2. Turpinning can now be across the number 14 out the way he wanted to end his night as his son departs for the armed services on Monday morning. Not the send-off he wanted to give. 3 wide for second. Brightman makes contact with Iveris as Tetro was able to get by him. Brightman gets high in the corner, tries to come back down, but he's got a bunch of cars right there in front of him. Still a 2-car battle for that third spot. Iveris and Arsenal side by side. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Mealy takes a look underneath, but nothing there as he drops back into place. Iveris now in third, 3 wide. Sylvia and Sparky Arsenal on the outside of Mealy for position number 4. Mealy trying to hold on down low. And Mealy is sideways off the corner. Everybody tries to get the 158. Extremely loose off the corners. He is all over the place and going backwards. Keith Morrow way out front. Russ Tetro Jr. in the 62 trying to catch him. But he's got a lot of distance ahead of him. The 52 by Harris loose off the corners and around. But turn number 4 goes to 41 of Pete Rhoda. As he rolls that car into the infield, gets it going once again, stays under green. Mealy and Sylvia still battling side by side for position number 3. Dave Fitter Jr. sits in 5th. Right behind him, he's got Jeff Woodman all the way up to the 12th spot. As Woodman takes a look underneath down the back straightaway, nothing there, and he gathers it back up behind. Everybody battles position. The 00 of Weston and the 52 get together. Little bumper lock. The 16 of Stacy Mullen, last week's feature winner, goes around, but everybody keeps going and we stay on the green. And this time by its halfway. 3 wide, deep in the pack, the 49 of Westgate, Iveris and the 8 of Brightman, all side by side by side, as there is traffic all the way through the field. Tetro's caught the leader. It's a 2-car battle as Tetro now on the back bumper road. The 38 for that third spot. Keith Lowe trying to hold on. Tetro takes a look down low. And side by side through turns 3 and 4. And Russ Tetro takes over the lead. Got a 2-car jam up down turn number 2, the 4 of Rob Kohler. And the 26 of Peter Fernandez, the 4th tough break. So Rob Kohler was getting the black flag next time by. It looks like he may have had some.
Morrow jumped out for a short lead over Tetro. Tetro on the outside looking to take it as they come out of 2. Going through that speedy try. Didn't upset his car at all. Jim Sylvia got a little wide coming out of that second turn. Short. Russ Tetro now in the lead. Morrow second. Lenny McQuaid to the infield. Gene Weston sideways on the straightaway gathers it back. Sean Sylvia sliding through the infield. Action all the way through the field. Russ Tetro opens up a lead over Keith Morrow. Jim Sylvia on the outside. Paul Mealy in that third. Sutcliffe. Rusty Bryan and Sparky Arsenal round out your top 7. Dave Petty 8. Gene Weston after that wild slice hangs on to that 9th spot. Russ Tetro criticizing the lead over that second place of Jim Sylvia. Paul Mealy and Keith Morrow. Look, he has a wheel bearing going in that number 38. Smokes up that right front wheel bearing. Tough luck for that Keith Morrow team. Tatro continuing to lead over Sylvia, Paul Mealy, Rusty Bryant, Sutcliffe, Arsenal, Petty, Weston, Westgate, Pete Rhoda, John Sylvia in there. Viveris, Al Clemens, Dave Brightman off the track on the backstretch. Russ Tatro, 2 to go. Hold on to that lead over Sylvia. Paul Mealy now in that third spot. Rusty Bryant 4th. Arsenal 5th. Sutcliffe 6th. Weston 7th. Westgate, Petty, Rhoda, and Sean Sylvia on up the top of the field. White flag flying with Tatro continuing to lead. Coming to that third turn, coming out of 4, looking for the checker. Russ Tatro in for the win. Jim Sylvia in for second. Mealy over Bryant pulls for 4th. Then you got Arsenal, Sutcliffe, Gene Weston making a fine recovery from that slipping and sliding. And you have Sean Sylvia Road.
1996 in the street stock.
That just goes to show you the tight competition we have in the street division here at Seekonk Speedway. It's hard to be a repeat winner. Russ has been running good many a night, but just hasn't been able to find that front spot tonight. All the breaks went his way, and he was out in the lead and held on and did a fine, convincing win.
And our points leader, Rusty Bryant, was able to come from his 17th starting spot and work his way up to a 4th place finish. The consistency that's putting him way out front in the points. He's got a 76 point lead on Bob Betancourt Jr. Rusty Bryant's got 354. Bob Betancourt's got 276, but he's only 6 points ahead of Rob Kohler. Gene Weston and Jerry DeGasperi Jr. round out the top 5 cars. No.
21st of September, along with Speedway Distributors Wins Night, Wally Saliba putting that show on, helping out with the 50 lap sportsman feature. So these gentlemen here that are out here on the track right now are looking forward to that extra distance, extra.
Number 8 is Ed Ginn in the 3rd, Angelo D'Amelia in the John J. Messina number 5, and Leroy Hudson in the 0-2 round out the field. Green flag is up, and we are underway.
Kenny Bedford jumps out to the lead. Kenny Bedford with Chris McGee. Dean Petty in there for 3rd spot. Glenn Cohen up to that 4th position. Dave Titus up on the outside. They're going to move for that front position. Chris McGee, after a fine run in the seat, just takes over the lead over Kenny Bedford. Dave Titus is still on the outside. Dean Petty now looking at the outside of Bedford. Going down on the inside. Chris McGee opening up a slight advantage over to Dean Petty, who just took over that 2nd spot. Kenny Bedford sideways collects Kenny Spencer. We have a yellow flag on that incident. Looks like Kenny Bedford just got a little sideways. It didn't look like there was a helping hand involved. Looks like he got a little sideways in front of the.
The problem on the start, jumps high, and a bunch of cars get by. You can see him wiggling that car. Obviously, something broke. May have broke on the restart as he is falling out of contention. That puts McGee all alone out front with Dave Titus in 2nd. Rookie Scott Zernitzky in 3rd. Mike Blackmar in the 2-car battle for that 5th spot. That's the 99. Glenn Young in the 70. Of 1. Blackmar slideways off the 4th corner. Young trying to get by 1. Tries to make it 3 wide. But nothing there to take up Rob Murray and Tom Scully. Petty bringing his number 57 into the pit area. He's going to call that one an early night, but that's all McGee wanted to see, as that was a big competition right then. And McGee is all alone out front. Get a 2-car like lead over Titus. We've got Scott Cernitzky right on his back bumper, side by side for fourth spot. Here comes Young on the outside. Murray gets it over underneath one, outside, 3 wide, the third spot. Blackmar a little sideways through 1 and 2, and a bunch of cars. And oh! Tom Scully getting tangled up as Blackmar ends up in the wall, and we are back under caution. Scully able to get going under his own power, and down in turns 3 and 4, another car goes around. Looks like the 0-2. We are back underway. Billy Manchester with a problem with that number 95 car as he jumps high on the speedway. And that's going to be a tough break for him. You can hear some rumbling out of the front end of that car. McGee all the way out front, but here comes the 99 of Glenn Young. And oh, Bobby LeClaire in the 70. Glenn Young gets together. Looks like Bobby LeClaire's got a tire going down. And tough break for him as he was well in the top 10. And that's going to bring us under caution. Back underway. McGee trying to hold on down low, but Young's getting a run on the outside as they battle side by side for position. Out of turn 4, McGee a little sideways off the corner. And Young has got the front spot. Young looking to take down his second victory. But here comes McGee once again down on the inside. It's still side by side for the lead. Titus sitting basically in third. Rob Murray has worked his way up into fourth point. Sits in sixth. Young all alone out front now as he drops it in front of McGee. McGee trying to hold on a second, but he's got Dave Titus right on his back bumper, Rob Murray. And here comes Glenn White in the number 70 as he runs full all line. Halfway this time by McGee, sitting second, but looking to take over that front spot from Glenn Young. Is holding on Titus back to third, Murray fourth. Fifth is the number 70 of Glenn White. Taking a look down low underneath Murray, but Murray goes to the high side and takes a look at third spot. He likes what he sees, trying to get some momentum going, but here comes White down low. Cernitzky getting caught on the high side, dropping back a few spots. Rimmy's gotten by. Estrela's got by. He drops in line right in front of the 8 of Ben Gator the third. And all the way back to 7th spot. 10 left to go for Fireball. This Fireball continues to lead. Our sportsman event. Amelia getting sideways deep in the pack. Gathers it back up. Scully, Hudson, and 95 of Manchester right there behind. One trying to pull away from McGee, trying to stay right on his bumper. 3 car lengths back. The 14 of Cowan falling back quickly, way in the back of the pack. One gets run on the inside of Murray as they still battle side by side for that 4th spot. Titus sits comfortably in 3rd, but anything can happen with just a handful of laps remaining. Get a hook on the outside. It doesn't look like it's going to work. One has gotten by on the inside, but here comes Murray once again on the outside. He hasn't given up an inch, but he's only got 5 laps left to do it. One now sits all alone in 4th spot. Here comes the 18 of Ribby trying to work his way into the top 5. But out front, it's Fireball Young, but he's got Chris McGee all over him. Looking high, low, or otherwise, trying to take down his first win. But Young is out front all by himself. This time by just 3 laps remaining. Young still out front. McGee all over the back bumper. 3rd is Dave Titus, about 15 car lengths back. This time by his popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go for Glenn Young, still leading this race. To take down his second win, McGee, a little overdrive into the corner, loses about a car length, and we've got a spin out in turn 4. And once again, we are going to be under caution. That's Dana Willis in the 55, and the 5 of Angelo D'Amelia also going around. And this is not what Glenn Young wanted to see, but G looking for the green. Young and Magee to start at the white line. Green flag is out there, back underway. Young gets a good jump and jumps out front. Magee falls right behind with heavy pressure. No! Couple of cars getting together. That's the 2 of Dave Titus. Looks like the 18 of Ribby. Nope, it's not Ribby.
That's
Looks
a
like
70 of Lawton.
And another
Glenn
car
Lawton.
down wall. Looks like it may be. He was able to jump in right behind him. Green flag is out. We're back underway, and again, Young gets a good jump. Magee misses a shift. And Estrella goes 3 wide. Turns 1 and 2. Ribby jumps up to second. Magee back to third. And it's a side-by-side battle for that 4th spot. Estrella trying to get a run on the outside. 1 lap to go this time by. Down the back straightaway they go for the final time, the 99 of Fireball Young. Out of turn number 4, and he's going to take down his second win of the season. Ribby finishes in second. Magee goes back to third and 4th with the battle between Rob Murray and Scott Estrella. We'll wait for the official word on that 4th place.
Glenn has been running the sportsman division about 3 years now and was always winless. And he won the DAV Memorial feature at the end of last year and has been on a tear since then. This is his 2nd win this year. He joins the elite group of Rob Murray and Dana Willis. Now we have 3 two-time winners.
Well, I hope everybody's got their program bought. If not, well, this is the time to come down and pick up your lucky prize. Tonight's lucky sticker is a bird, and that's located on the Cisco's performance page in the program. And of course, Cisco's is located on Walcott Street in Pawtucket and has all your race performance needs. Some of the gift certificates we're giving away is a $25 gift certificate to the Villa Restaurant in South Attleboro, Mass. A free 6-inch spring rides in that car.
Black number 9 going in the third one is the old kid Hickey White. And at the wheel is the famous Johnny K of Connecticut. Johnny passed his driving test in Indianapolis in the mid-50s and 1 year became the first alternate. And if you ever get a chance to talk to John, he's got 1,000,001 racing stories and he'll leave you in stitches. Gene White is the flagman for these antique races, a former great racer himself out of Connecticut. Not the same Gene White.
Not the same Gene White, okay.
You do the running thing if you want.
This is basically an exhibition, folks. It's not any real side-by-side racing. It's just an exhibition. So, Bob Sylvia knows these gentlemen a lot better than I do, so he can. It's funny that some of these guys, when they get out there, their adrenaline starts flowing, and their foot seems to get farther and farther down on the floor.
Well, a few of these gentlemen, especially the real retired, real race drivers, they're a race driver. They don't want to run second, no matter what the situation is. As you can see, Johnny Mann and Johnny Kay have gone to the front. The third is Dick Woolridge from Hudson, Florida. He spends pretty much most of the summer up here. He also was in New Hampshire, and he wasn't up in this part of the country.
A lot of these gentlemen that are out there, they're no spring chickens. I mean, they were old timers when I became involved, and I'm no kid myself. So, and these guys are probably having the time of their life out there.
Another great former competitive midget driver, going towards third one now, the golden number 6, the Golden Arrow, is Lou Gray from Shelton, Connecticut. Lou has won many races, and most of you middle to old timers will definitely remember Lou.
Yes, I remember Lou Frey many a time here at Seekonk in the 60s and 70s. Running wheel to wheel with guys like Johnny Mann, Joey Kay, a host of others. I can even remember, and I'm really dating myself, seeing Len Duncan in Tony Rahman.
Big number 11 going in the third one now is another sprint car. That's Joe German's car. That car was a championship car in the Pennsylvania circuit in the early 50s. Car is an extensive career.
That's an early sprint car, Bob's telling me. So, what is that powered by, Bob? Do you know?
You know, I said Glad had a moment ago, but I'm not really positive. Maybe the overhead. I saw it in New Hampshire, and I'll be doggone if I can remember now. Have to take a closer look.
Chris announces a race, he knows what he's talking about. And when he knows a competitor, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, okay. Oh, where is it? Oh. Oh, Andy Oliveira? Okay. Out on the speedway now, in that beautiful Model A Roadster, is Mrs. Irene Vendetti. And she is being chauffeured by Mr. Andy Oliveira, owner of Andy's Bay State Auto Body in South Attleboro. And behind Mr. Oliveira and Mrs. Vendetti is Ed Clark, who is driving Mrs. Rose Schindler in a 1967 Chevy Super Sport convertible. Two fine ladies, Mrs. Vendetti, the matriarch of Seekonk Speedway, and Mrs. Schindler, which I believe is probably Wild Bill Schindler's wife or relation to Wild Bill Schindler, who was a staunch competitor here at Seekonk for many, many years. Mrs. Vendetti has now exited the car. Yes, I do believe that is Wild Bill Schindler's wife, Mrs. Rose Schindler.
From this time, Mrs. Vendetti is handing her key to Mrs. Rose Schindler. Mrs. Vendetti.
Thank you for all your endeavors for this wonderful group of people. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Truly, two fine ladies in the race. No, it's going right. No, like this thing?
Well, George and Ann Levesque sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Whose bright and bright stars through the perilous sky, o'er the rampart we walked, were so gallant.
Thank you. That's George and Ann Levesque.
Electric Mid-City Steel number 6. And starting in the 24th position, driving the Conley Ford trucks, Cranston Bowles, Duraflex, number 0, from Warwick, Rhode Island, Dave Sylvia.
And there it is, 24 of the most competitive pro stocks ever assembled here at Seekonk Speedway.
On the Thursday.
Both drivers looking for their first win. Al Rodriguez likes what he sees, waves the green flag, and they are underway. Relax, sometimes a quick lead, but he's got Ray Alexander all over his back. Bubba Bowler falls back to the outside. Oh, the second row is Alexander, now works the inside. Gamache completes lap number 1 out front. Alexander sits in second. Bowler, Golden, and Tony Dyers, your top 5. Here comes Ray Lee on the inside. Side-by-side action all the way through the back as everybody jumbles for position. Gamache still leading him down to the completion of 3, but here comes Bowler trying back on the high side as Bowler works the outside. He got by Alexander, and now Alexander's back into the 3rd spot. Bolden not back to 4th. Bowler on the outside. Bolden takes a look to the outside of Alexander, doesn't like what he sees, falls back in line, doesn't know if Bowler's going to be able to complete the task on the high side or not. Opening up a little bit of a breathing room. Gamache still out front. Bowler trying to hold on. He's got a curling between him and Alexander in the 40 as Bowler continues to run up high. Bolden now takes a look to the outside of Alexander, thinks the outside is the way to go. Tony Dyers faltering down the outside, moving back, taking with him Dion and the 66 of Al McClure.
Tony Dyers just hasn't got the handle. It seems like the car's just going backwards. Outside groove, not the way to be behind Dyers.
Bowler getting some momentum going up high. He's battling for that front spot. Holden has moved up into 3rd. Here comes the 33 of late as he tries to follow through Bowler. Across the line is your new leader, but Gamache is hanging in there tough in that number 27. Trying to hold on down low. But Bowler has got the advantage up high as he can keep his momentum going just a little bit stronger. Gamache battling back down low and still side by side for that front spot. Gamache and Bowler. Bowler with a good jump off the corner leads him across the line. That's where it goes. But Gamache comes back through turn 22. Bowler back on the back straightaway. Out of turn 4 they come. It's close again. But Bowler by a nose. Take it down across the straight. Gamache back through the corners. Bowler down the straightaway. Gamache in the corners. It's a side-by-side battle for that front spot between your top 2 starters. Holden has moved to the back bumper of Gamache as he's worked his way up into 3rd and is on the back bumper of the 2 leaders. Oh! They touch. Gamache and Bowler touch. Gamache loses the position. Bowler takes the lead. Gamache drops back to 2nd. Holden looks to the outside to work his way towards the front. He's got Ray Lee right on his back bumper. Alexander on the inside, holding on to that 5th spot. Here comes Joey Cirillo, Vinny Anarumo, Freddie Estelle, Chad Chase, Honey Ellis, Jimmy Kuhn. And everybody on the inside is Tony Dyers still falling back on the outside. Behind him, he's got the 99, the 66, and the 1. Dyers sideways in the corner, trying to get in line, nothing there. As Hanato blocks him off. Cavallero drops just a bit as everybody 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Martin way down low. Bobby Tripp shifting sideways down the front straightaway as he tries to squeeze in a spot. Still side by side. Him and Martin a little bit of contact. Both cars faltering. And oh, Bobby Tripp goes around. Trippy goes around. And everybody's behind him tries to get by. And we are under caution. Tripp and Martin able. as they're both looking for their first feature win in 1996. Green flag is out, run away, and Gamache gets a jump, and the 10 almost, the 10 goes around on the restart after losing it on the start. Bowler jumped on the gas, got slideways off the corner, and goes around down the front straightaway. A tough break for the East Freetown native of Mike Bowler. Gamache again with a jump on Holden, now working the high side. Through turns 1 and 2, Gamache trying to hold on, but Holden's got the jump up high. Through turns 3 and 4, Gamache with a little bit of a push. Holden slideways off the corner, but Holden, original leader, flying pretty still, goes around on the front straightaway. And once again, we are back under caution.
What happened to Mike Bowler? Did you lose it?
Looking him over. Holden sees the line, hits the gas, green flag is out, and they are backing away. Holden with a great jump. Jumps out front, Ray Lee falls back in a second spot. Gamache stuck on the high side, a lot of smoke coming from the back of the 0-1. Mike. Steve Channing to the back of the backup, problem lap 23, and he brings that car into the pit. Tough break for the Uxbridge Mass native as he sat 4th in points. Holding your leader, Ray Lee, right on his bumper for the front spot. 3rd is Joey Cirillo in the 5. Jay Chase has moved all the way up to 4th, and here comes plenty else in 5th, and we've got a caution on the field as David Hutchins has gone around in the 3rd corner. And this time by it's Holden and Lee, 2 veterans of the Pro Stock Wars here at Seekonk. Green flag is out, and they are back underway. Holden trying to get a jump down low, but Lee holding on the outside. He's got Joey Cirillo, Chad Chase, and Lenny Ellis right there. Top 5 under a blanket. Holden down low, holding off the charges of Ray Lee in that number 33, the veteran, the independent here at Seekonk Speedway. Chad Chase works the outside of Joey Cirillo and Lenny Ellis in the 4th spot. Look at Bobby Tripp Baldwin just a bit on the outside. He's got Freddie Estelle right behind him. And Rick Martin's passed them both. Rick Martin's well in the top 10. Working his way to the front. Does he have enough time? Can he get through the traffic? Only time will tell. Because next time by, there's just 10 laps to go. Norm Holden down the point. He's still leading him down. The 33 only is 2nd. Cirillo 3rd, Chase and Lenny Ellis rounding out the top 5. With just 9 laps remaining, Norm Holden is still your leader. Looking to take down his 2nd win of 1996. Chad Chase and Joey Cirillo side by side for that 3rd spot. Chase having a great run at number 9, Cirillo. Sitting 4th on the field. Ellis 5th, and look on the outside in 6th spot. It's Vinny Anarumo right next to Ray Alexander. Alan McLaren Radical, Rick Martin, your top 10 cars with just 7 laps remaining. Holden down his groove. Ray Lee all over the back bumper, looking high, looking low. Any which way he can go. And here comes Chad Chase on the outside, trying to make it a 3-car battle for the lead. Chase works the high line of Lee, side by side down the back straightaway. Holden trying to hold him off. Lenny Ellis looks to the outside of Cirillo. Ellis up into 4th on the outside. Chase to 2nd. Now sets his sights on the number 6 of Stormin Norman Holden. Through turns 1 and 2, Chase getting a run on the outside. Down the back straightaway they go. Chase on the outside, he's got to jump. Through turns 3 and 4 this time by it's Popsicle Sticks with just 2 laps to go. Chase to the high side, now your new leader Holden. Trying to hold on but falls back, and Chad Chase has taken the lead. White flag out last time by for Chad Chase in the number 9. Cirillo back to 5th spot. Lenny Ellis 4th. Bailey's 3rd. Norm Holden 2nd, but this is going to be it. Out of turn number 4. Taking down his first win in 1996 out of Somerset, Mass. It's going to be Chad Chase. Takes a week off. Steady Precision Racing Engines, Red Wing Shoes, Total Welding Supply out of Somerset, Mass. Give him a round of applause. His first win of 1996. It's Chad Chase.
Chad, our Rookie of the Year last year, waited till almost the end of the season to get his first Pro Stock win. This year it took him half a year to get it. But the way he was running tonight, it won't be long before it continues on.
Started way back in 17th, worked his way on the high side, all the way from the middle. With just 2 laps to go, edging out Norm Holden over the line and cleanly getting into the lead.
You're doing the Formula 4s.
Why?
Because I'm almost out of a voice.
A young boy like you?
Yep.
It's a very slow and savored victory lap for the 1995 Pro Stock Rookie of the Year here at Seekonk Speedway, spreading his wings in 1996, but staying home here at Seekonk Speedway each and every week with the exception of last week. Had to try it, didn't work. He's back this week one more time. Give him a big round of applause out of Somerset, Massachusetts. The number 9, it's Chad Chase.
The 13th spot, Duffy's Auto, Alex Radiator. Bone Dry Pet Grooming, Alan King. Outside of Allen, in the 88 is Kevin. The last row with the 32 of Russ Harris. And outside of Russ, in the number 9, Scotty Vanville. And then on the drop of the green, it's Ethel Mathau. Ethel Mathau continuing to lead. You got Mike Langlois, Carvalero, Castro, and Furtado. We have Gavin around in the first and second turn. And we have a yellow flag as Gavin just gets that car rolling. We'll see a green as they go through 3 and 4. We have a green flag with Ethel Mathau. Mark Langlois jumped out to the lead. Tom Furtado dives on the inside. No, Ethel closes the door. If you want to get by, you got to go around. Doug Hansen, sideways, spins around. Now he's going backwards. Green flag with Mike Langlois jumping out the lead with Tom Furtado in there for second. Cavallaro third, and Barry Shaw is up to fourth. Al King is fifth. Furtado underneath Mike Langlois now taking over that lead. Cavallaro in there for third with King's up the fighting for fourth with Shaw. King's in the fourth spot, Shaw fifth. Now we have Stoller, Barron, Casper. Furtado continuing to hold on to that lead over Langlois. King is up to that third spot, Cavallaro fourth. with a bumper tag with King into Mark Langlois. Now Rodriguez shows the field of green with Furtado jumping out. Very short, and there's the second. Scola's on the inside. He's in that third position. Cavallaro dropping back on the start. We're going to make up some ground now. Casper threading the needle between Shaw. Gets Shaw sideways, takes his foot out of it, lets Shaw get corrected, but not after both lost many spots. Halfway mark. Furtado now. Stroller in second, Ray Parent is third. George stripped of Pat McCrowan into that fifth spot with Casper. Then you got Rusty Harris. Stroll going way wide, let's strip it underneath them as they go into one. Ray Parent follows through. McCrowan stuck on the outside, drops back. Kevin Casper on the inside of Stroll down the backstretch. Takes over the spot. Stroll goes real wide coming out of that third, fourth corner. Got McCrowan stuck behind him and taken back with him. Furtado now. Furtado with now George Stripp in second. Ray Parent is in third with Casper fourth. Closing ground fast on Furtado. Caution. Rusty Harris. Son, because he'll give you the ponies, or he won't. And we have a green flag. Furtado jumps out to the lead. Parent, Tripp, and Casper. Tight three-way battle for that second position. Parent's got the edge as of right now. Furtado got a good lead on that restart. But Parent's closing in fast. George Tripp now third, Casper, Scola. Then you got Cavallaro, Jim Chapman has moved back up after his early spin. 2 to go. Furtado continuing to lead. Ray Parent all over his bumper, trying to go to the outside. Furtado holding his groove. White flag this time around for Furtado. Giving it his all. Ray Parent trying wide on the outside. George Tripp in there, making a tight three-way battle, but they're going to come down for that checkup. Checkered flag is flying. Furtado takes down the win over Ray Parent. Then you have George Tripp, Kevin Casper. I believe Richard Cavallaro was in there for that fifth spot. Driving a Consumer Auto Supply, Apollo Radiator Center, Abel Tuner for troubleshooting, out of North Dayton, Mass, in that number 5, Tom Furtado.
For this year, for the dash.
And that's Tom's first win this year in the dash for cash.
You gonna do it? Finish it? I'll close up.
Well, once again, we'd like to thank all you folks for coming down to this beautiful Saturday night event and seeing some great racing action here at Seekonk Speedway. I want to congratulate all our winners, Ray Sulia, Russ Tatro Jr., Glenn Young, Chad Chase, and of course Tom Furtado taking out his first win in the Dash for Cash. Don't forget, next Saturday night, the VOC Gases Fan Town Parade with over $3,000 in prizes to be given away by VOC Gases.